Hello, and welcome to Terminally Online. This is our take 3. Don't worry about it. I'm Tori.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm depressed. Hi, depressed. I'm Dad.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm just over it, man. Like, we were just talking about how upset we are over... Well, in our first take, the audio didn't record, so this is our another take because I can't be trusted.
Nope, not at all.
Here I am, and I'm doing my best, okay? At least I look cute. I'm wearing an Oron High School Host Club crop top that I got from Hot Topic, like 2 years ago.
I like how you're volunteering it all when there's not even some creep in the comments being like, fit check!
Fit check,
Which is always what we get.
I don't understand, like, is that like a thing that I just didn't know existed, or is that like... just so happened to be, like...
I mean, the word fit check...
No, like I get fit check, but, like, is that, like, a way for creepy dudes, like, is that, like, an r/like, incel subreddit type of thing where, like...
I don't think it's incel, I think it's just a pickup line from dudes at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, is it, like...
It's just an excuse to get your attention.
Line? Is it, like, a classic pickup line, like, that I just didn't know about?
A Gen
or is it
Z
just, like...
pickup line.
Maybe.
It's what the kids are doing these days. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but also... don't.
Yeah. We still might not have sound.
Alright. Well, the microphone says it's working. Why is your...
So I get fit check, but, like, is that... Okay, no, there is sound. It just wasn't on my... Oh, hello, Gamma. How are you?
Was it working before?
Oh, thank God. No, it wasn't working before. Hello, Axe. We were having issues with audio, and I'm having a moment. Hello. We're doing... hello. We're doing, again... I'm crying. That's fine. Hannah's very mad at me.
I'm not mad.
Hannah's
I'm just
infuriated.
Disappointed.
I'm doing peachy.
No,
Much of our human rights have been taken away, and
vibes not great.
Not great. Vibes aren't great. As two queer women who have functioning uteri, it's like rough.
Not the best.
Got some art done. Gamma.
Not the best time.
Gamma does amazing thick thigh lady art, and it's real good.
Nice.
It's real good. Love those thick thighs. But yeah, so we're reading about Am I the Asshole posts, kind of focusing on Pride, because yesterday was Pride in New York City, and we wanted to go for some low-hanging fruit, because I'm in pain. Emotionally. Mm-hmm. Rough is kind of an understatement. Yeah! Again, we're very lucky we live in New York City, and, like, I mean, at least our senators probably won't try to take it away.
Who needs a constitutional right when you have a state right?
Yeah. At least our...
I mean, no, I totally understand that we are coming from a pretty relatively privileged position.
I mean, as two queer women who live in who have a group of friends, too, who are, like, mostly queer, and then also, like, both of our parents are pretty, like, are fine with us being queer as well. Like, my whole family is, like, my grandma got on my ass because, at one point, because I wasn't taking care of my girlfriend at the time well enough. Oh, cool. Ohio had several trigger laws that went into effect immediately. I love that. Ohio is also the one pushing... Yes, Axe, you can burn everything down.
Please do.
Ohio's also the one pushing for a lot of anti-trans bills. So, and we have a trans friend who, she's not doing good. She's not doing good.
Understandably.
Yeah, because, I mean, today it's, reproductive rights, and tomorrow it's, gay rights, and then the next day, then it's transgender rights, and gay marriage, and...
Fun domino effect.
Welcome to the 60s. What's the Hairspray song?
I really love, you don't know it, the Stranger Things audio that's going viral on TikTok where it's like, Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this, Chrissy.
Oh yeah, they already passed a series of laws attacking students even accused of being trans. Yeah, it's wild.
Oh,
they literally passed, like, there are laws now that they can do, like, genital checks on young... Mostly women. It's always women, because, like, they don't care if a woman tries to, or a trans man tries to be in, like, you know, men's sports.
Because, right, that's kind of the heart of it, right?
Yeah.
That it's
not fair to women. We gotta protect women.
Well, right, and so much of it is rooted in misogyny. I mean, trans misogyny, but misogyny in the sense of that anyone who's, you know, assigned male at birth, and the idea that someone would, quote unquote, choose to be a woman must be, like, fucking sick in the head, because who would want to be a woman? It's
also gender essentialism, the idea that, like, men are inherently better at sports. So, Gamma has freedom has so many chains attached. Yep. And the kids literally have to be, by a doctor to prove their gender. If parents of the child refuse to allow the procedure, then the person who accused the child gets a money reward, and the child is banned from all extracurriculars. I hate this country.
We live in hell. Let's read some Reddit posts.
Well, I will again bring up that it was very funny. There was a news article that there's an LGBT group that is keeps asking. Apparently, they've been asking for the past, like, 60 years to go to the GOP convention.
Oh, the Log Cabin Republicans, right?
The Log Cabin Republicans have been asking for about 60 years to be in, like, the GOP convention, and everyone is like, no, you're gay. We are Republican. And they're like, but we're Republican too. We're also, like you said, we're also in the leopards eat our faces party. Yeah. They're very upset, and it's just very funny to me. Oh my god. So, yeah, the leader, Charles Moran, issued statements opposing the Equality Act, landmark non-discrimination legislation for the queer community, and, like, why... Oh, it has defended Florida Governor Ron DeSantis's and the state's Don't Say Gay law.
Well, yeah.
He's opposing the Equality Act.
Oh, and he's a Log Cabin Republican?
Yeah!
Yeah, because it's because these people who I mentioned before, the Log Cabin Republicans, have been around for a while, for sure. And they became more known, I feel like, probably around the time of, like, Obama, McCain-ish era, when it was starting, you know, a little bit more national focus on gay rights as a whole. But they are full of generally white gay cis men. And like a lot of people, they will put their whiteness and their maleness, masculinity, maleness, whatever, over their gay identity. So being, holding on to capital and being white and being a man is all higher up in importance as far as their identity versus the gay part.
And also, like, in most, not all, but, like, quite a lot of America now, if like, being gay isn't as, you know, like, stigmatized.
So, yeah.
You know, obviously not all, because obviously, like, a lot of parts of this country are still shit when it comes to any kind of queer rights, but... Mm-hmm. Oh, and hi, Becca! Becca's here.
And also, too, I mean, look at Peter Thiel, who is a huge bank, or what would you call it, like, funder of all of these right-wing crazy causes, okay? Like, he is a gay man, but he throws so much money behind Trump, behind right-wing causes. That is, like, his thing, because I think he's a billionaire. I mean, he's, like, up there. If he's not an actual billionaire, I mean, he's way up there. He actually has sued, I think it was Gawker. He tried to sue and shut down. Yes. Okay, so what happened was Gawker was a blog that had a lot of different posts, but was kind of known for being in on, like, the New York circles, and Peter Thiel is, like, a New Yorker, obviously, unfortunately. And so what happened was they outed Peter Thiel because they were like, hey, look at this dude. He's actually gay and he's supporting all these causes. Well, he was so pissed that they outed him that he funded Hulk Hogan sued Gawker. You know the wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan had a sex tape with someone who was not his wife. Gawker published it. Now, the morality of Gawker publishing a sex tape...
That's not great.
Not great, but basically Peter Thiel used this as an excuse to get back and shut down Gawker. So basically what he did is funded Hulk Hogan's attorneys. They won the lawsuit. Gawker basically went bankrupt. And, you know, it was really unfortunate because really they should have just let it go. But they were just kind of, they had a lot of pride in posting like really dishy gossip about people. I'm not saying it's morally correct, but fuck Peter Thiel. And a lot of really great writers wrote for Gawker.
I feel like I've at least heard of it.
So
too.
Yeah, so that is how much the extent he went to, just for being outed as gay. I think he's maybe even like married to his husband now, but he's a real piece of shit. I mean, he's up there with like, he's probably worse than like Mark Zuckerberg. He's had a huge, profound effect on, just, you know, bankrolling all of these right-wing, crazy, batshit candidates. Because for him, he doesn't care. No, he's gay. But he's fucking rich as fucking balls. Oh, yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
At some, like, especially, like, sometimes wealth can overturn.
It absolutely does.
Overturns a level of, like, you know, not, what's the opposite of privilege?
Like the oppressive identity. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it.
That's it.
Whatever makes you minority. But that's the thing, is because if you are rich enough, that's why these, like,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Rich white Republicans who aren't even religious, they don't care about this because every one of them, their rules will never apply to them. Okay? Yeah. So, like, rich women, Republican or not, they will always have access to abortion. Okay? Rich gay men like that, like,
they super don't care.
They super don't care. They don't need the legal protections of marriage anyway.
No.
They will get to live their life how they want. You know, they might do it.
And they're rich anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, they care more about having money.
Power goes to people's heads, and they don't want to do anything to risk losing it. Yep.
Clarence Thomas is a perfect example of someone who... He's black. He's also a fucking white supremacist.
Yeah.
His wife is, like, totally unhinged. And I told you the story. You know the story about Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill? Okay. So when Clarence Thomas... I'll keep it brief. Okay.
Because I have a story about hummus.
That's going to be a lot better than this. So I'll keep it really brief. But basically what happened was when Clarence Thomas was going through his confirmation hearings, right? Mm-hmm. Anita Hill, a black woman who worked under him, accused him of sexual harassment. She said that he made really inappropriate remarks about the size of his dick to her, that he joked about putting pubic hair on her Diet Coke.
Ew.
Yeah, it was fucking gross. And she testified, and this was like the early 90s, right?
Wow.
You know who
Good for her.
Headed up that committee hearing, those hearings? Joe Biden. He was presiding over it on the Democrat side. You know what happened? Clarence Thomas got approved because Anita Hill had 4 witnesses in the office who were ready to testify and say, you know, substantiate her claims.
Yeah.
Joe Biden cut a deal with the Republican leaders to not call those witnesses. Clarence Thomas goes through the confirmation, is on the Supreme Court.
Stop having, like, sexually harass rapist men on the Supreme Court.
Well, here's the one...
No more men on the Supreme Court,
Here's the one crazy part, okay? So Clarence Thomas is married to this white woman named Ginny Thomas, who literally tried to help overthrow the government on January 6th. Like, she was contacting people about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, her husband's a fucking, like...
Amazing.
Supreme Court justice. This woman's absolutely unhinged. So, in 2010, okay, this was, like, 15-ish years after the hearings, she calls Anita Hill. She leaves Anita Hill a voicemail, and she says... I think you should apologize to my husband for what you put him through.
What you put him
She was probably,
through?
honestly, she sounded drunk. Allegedly, for legal purposes.
Allegedly.
I don't know. They'll arrest you for anything these days. So, anyway, so she leaves Anita Hill this voicemail. It's really rambly. Anita Hill goes to the press and was like,
amazing.
She left me this voicemail.
She's like,
I don't know
fun.
what the fuck she wanted. So anyway, fuck Joe Biden, who helped get Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court because they wanted him as a sign of conservative diversity. Okay?
Oh my god.
So, like, he's not any better because he's not white.
Yeah.
He's as evil and vile as the rest of them.
Accident. This is yet another reason why that weak little shit Biden should never have been nominated in the first fucking place. Lazy, fair, moron. Yes!
He's absolutely...
People were so
I will die on
Are you
this
so
hill.
excited Biden was elected along with,
Kamala Harris? And I was like, no.
Kamala Harris, like, tweeted a picture from her, like, private plane watching a huge plasma screen TV. And she's like, we're very concerned about this. Blah, blah, blah. They have no plan because they don't give a shit about you,
care.
okay? They will enable the Republicans because what do they do?
Yes.
They will use this as a fundraising thing.
Gamma
they had
said
50 fucking years to codify Roe v. Wade into federal law, and they fucking didn't because they don't give a shit. They will use it, and they'll text you immediately and say, vote harder. Give us $15.
Vote
Fuck
harder.
all of them. The
Nancy
only
Pelosi.
people I fuck with who are Democrats are AOC and Bernie Sanders.
I do like the squad. AOC squad.
Katie Porter I've heard good things about. Honestly, I don't pay a lot of attention to her.
If Gamma said if 35 is the youngest president can be, 65 should be the oldest you can be.
Hell
older than
yes.
Anything of the times. Yes. And Axe said Kamala, ex-cop Harris, who apologizes over and over for police murders and brutality and other dipshit moves.
Yeah, another example of just because you are a minority in one way doesn't necessarily make you, like, a great
they're like, "Aren't you
advocate. Because these people...
She's a cop.
I think it gets ignored in some ways because it's not... I don't know how to say why, but I feel like the impact that class has on your outlook and your ideology is so underrated, where it's like, we need more women billionaires. Like, no, we fucking don't.
More women billionaires.
No.
We need to start killing billionaires.
Bernie Sanders,
as a
only old
joke.
person I respect. I would add to that list Dolly Parton,
Oh, yeah.
Cher.
Would vote for Dolly Parton in a heartbeat.
Oh my god, 100% yes.
She's done more for the
Noam
state of what,
Chomsky,
Alabama? Dolly Parton's from Alabama, right?
Oh yeah, she has like this program.
She's done more
does.
she's done more for Alabama than I think any of the senators
Actual
in the past,
like politicians. Yeah.
and like the
She has like some kind of program she does where she sends
buys
kids
books.
free.
She has,
books.
yeah, she's a huge to up because
It's so-
Alabama had a really low. Why do I know all that? Alabama had a really low literacy rate, and so she to get it back up.
The Dems have been using codifying Roe as a fundraising tagline for decades now. They keep saying they'll do something, anything, and once they have our votes and our money, they fuck off into the sunset, jacking off with our cash, laughing all the way. It's absolutely true. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm going on.
I'm trying to read a story about some dude.
The Democrats are bootlicking losers. They will just they just love to lose so much. That's why everyone fucking hates Democrats, because Republicans are
fucking liberals.
Absolutely beyond vile, evil. I don't even bother talking about how totally despicable the Republicans are, because at least they
get shit done.
Get doing stuff. At least they're getting things done. Democrats are just oh geez, let's go stand on the Capitol steps and sing God Bless the USA, because we're so fucking out of touch.
Gamma just said I could say more, but I want hummus story. Okay, I'm putting a pin in it.
I know. I'm sorry.
What's TIFU again? What's TIFU?
Today I fucked up.
Today I fucked up by thinking my son was having gay sex when he was just eating hummus.
How?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, tell me.
Shoves more ramen in mouth before continue ranting. Yes, but this time it's hummus. So I, 39 female, have a son, 15 male, and he brought his friend around today. They immediately went to their room, and I assumed they just went, played some video games or whatever, so I was totally fine leaving them. It was about 30 minutes in when I was walking past. I heard such sounds as, OMG, this is so good. It's so good with that in it. and various sounds. It really sounded like they were having gay sex. I was super weirded out by it, so I quickly went downstairs and waited for his friend to leave. When this friend left an hour or two later, I asked my son what they were doing in his room. Because although I don't mind him being gay, I know it's normal for teenagers to have sex, a condom really should be used.
Oh my god.
Stan a legend. So I...
Allyship.
Yeah. Gamma said, I already love this story. Yeah, me too, and I read it. So I planned to confront him about it. However, the answer shocked me to my very core. They weren't having sex, they were eating hummus. I was shocked and initially didn't believe it. We had never had hummus before, and I asked him to show me the hummus if this is true. Show me the hummus!
Why do you need to see the hummus?
Well, because if he doesn't have hummus, then they were having gay sex.
Yeah. How old is the son again?
16.
Okay, then
that would be a shitty excuse a 16-year-old would have. I was having sex. I was eating hummus. I was eating hummus.
What if por kilos dos?
Yeah, right.
Why not both?
I was shocked initially. Well, we never had hummus before, so he did. He showed me the hummus if this was true, so he did. And I ate hummus for the first time, and oh my god, it was so good.
Hummus is really good.
It is really good. We experimented with different things in it, like bread and carrots, and it was great. Apparently his friend had heard about how he'd never had hummus before and thought this was absurd, so had planned a date for a hummus party.
That does sound gay.
So it ended up being quite a good ending.
I feel like if you're having two boys having a hummus party, like, you might be gay.
Sex hummus. The top comment. Oh, I see you got hit by the emergency hummus. I always kept open hummus inside my closet for when I was having sex with my friends. You never know when you might get caught.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't necessarily preclude that they were having sex.
Yeah, I think that sounds like maybe they started having hummus and then, like, started having sex or something.
Is it like an aphrodisiac, maybe?
Or maybe just, I mean, gays do weird shit. Popcorn chicken or crispy chicken tenders with hummus? Ooh.
That sounds really good. I always feel like I just eat it with, like, naan bread or something. But
one of these TikTok creators I really like posted a video of, like, a vegan Chick-fil-A recipe. Because she's, like, this she's so cute. And she always, like, she's a black woman, and she always does this, like, very dark kind of, like, red blush across her cheeks, so she almost looks like a doll. And, like, she's so cute, and she does foraging, and she found mushrooms, and then she was like, I love Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and I hate homophobia, so I'm gonna make my own. That's can amazing. Too. Fuck Chick-fil-A.
I've never had Chick-fil-A.
I think I had it once.
At this point, I'm just kind of like...
New closet hummus.
I feel like at this point, I've gone so long without having it that I don't need it in my life enough to make it worth supporting.
Somebody said
anti-gay companies.
Lady for Real just fell for the old hummus trick. Everyone is just like, no, they were having sex. Like...
Yeah, I feel like the hummus is kind of a cover.
Somebody said, remember to declare no homo after ingesting.
I was going to say, I'm like, there's something there with, like, giving someone a hummus. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Do you want another one that's has some good Schadenfreude?
Oh, I love it. It's my favorite feeling.
And they have a lot of updates.
The only good thing the Germans have ever done is create that word.
It's schnitzel.
That's fair. I'm just kidding. I don't mean to be German phobic.
How dare you?
I was given Chick-fil-A once back when I was working retail. They bought it for the whole staff. The stuff was gross. I love, like, fried chicken. It's like, if I could eat it every fucking meal, I would. I can't. I shouldn't.
Tendies.
Oh my god. Absolutely my favorite food of, the proteins. But, I feel like it's okay. I will just stick with the occasional, like, crown fried chicken.
Yeah.
Uber Eats order of shame.
Gamma said hummus in your room is suspicious for sure. Why in your room? He brought the hummus over.
They were having a hummus party. Super normal shit.
Super normal. I've never made for you chicken fried steak, and I feel like I need to remedy that situation.
I think you should. I would love that.
I mean, it's literally like the way my family makes it is like, you know, the tenderized meat, and then you dredge it in cornflakes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which I did get into an argument with a woman over that, but
like
well, she was like, no, she's like, no, you don't use cornflakes, and I'm like, listen.
Do you crunch them up a lot and then do it?
Like, I have my white trash background.
Well, it's kind of similar to the HelloFresh we did the other day. Not sponsored, by the way.
Yet.
Yet. Call us.
I would...
Hit me up, HelloFresh. With the Dijon chicken with the crushed onion on it.
It was literally...
really good.
It was very good, but y'all, it was really just like, you take French's fried onions.
Yeah, no,
you crush it up and just.
It was a very simple recipe, but I've never done that, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna taste, but it was good.
Of course, it's good. It's fried onions on chicken.
It's true.
Gamma said it's honestly not that good. I think their chicken is pretty boring and bland. I don't even remember it. And Axe said, I love fried chicken too, but their shit was soggy and the meat was flavorless. Even their sauces were weak as fuck.
Yeah, the best fried chicken I've ever had. Last comment, and then we'll move on. I went to New Orleans. I think I told you. I ate at this place called Willie Mays in the Trem.
Billy Mays here.
In the Trem district. And they're like known for their fried chicken, featured by Anthony Bourdain or whatever. And Kendra, my roommate at the time, and I were there. And we went, and it was so fucking good. I could have just like ordered so much more than I did. But I loved it.
Axe agrees with me. Cornflakes are legit coating. They have a unique flavor and texture you don't get from other breading. I won't shame that or crispy onions. I appreciate that somebody got creative. Yeah, I think it's definitely some white trash. Like, my dad's side comes from hearty white trash. So, like, you know, those are our family recipes are, like, you know, like, I don't know. And guess who the most creative cooks? Poor people. They've got limited resources and have to find ways of keeping this stuff interesting. That's why, like, a lot of... Like, oh, I'm going to elevate poor people food. I'm always kind of like, but why? Like, maybe you should act, I don't know, sometimes when you really
especially when it's white people taking, like...
Oh, yeah.
by POC.
Just like...
Cuisines, and then just being like, I've taken... there was, like, a whole thing online that freaked out. It was like someone in New York, I think. Oh yeah, tried to do like clean Chinese eating.
Food, and they were like, no MSG. And then there was somebody. I watched a video of somebody of I think who was actually like, you know, Chinese descent, went and was like, this shit has no flavor.
Yeah, I think they got so much shit on that they like closed the restaurant. Good, if I remember correctly. That might be wishful thinking, but okay.
No, I'm pretty sure they did.
In the same vein of Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
I probably butchered that word. How do you say it?
Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude? Yeah.
I think it's...
Yeah.
Schadenfreude. Freud comes from behind us. I heard you talking about your mother. Anyway, you probably heard this one. Am I the asshole for describing mother-in-law's birthday cake as kinda gay?
Maybe. Keep reading. I don't recognize it offhand.
I don't even know where to begin. So, I'm 27, female, married to 28, female. Yeah, we're lesbians. Get that out of
Hell the way. Yeah.
Pound it. Lesbians. We've known each other for 7 years and have been married for 4. We were each other's first kiss, first love, first everything, first U-Haul. I added that.
Probably all within, like, the same week.
Yeah. Like, only married for 4, you know? They've been together for 7. That's... Damn.
Actually, that's a pretty fucking slow burn for a lesbian relationship.
God. Maybe that's why they're still together.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It really laid the foundation there.
Mm-hmm. I will call my lovely wife Emma here here on out for clarity. Real quick, do you just have a little joy in your heart whenever a woman says my wife?
Yes,
I'm just like, I hate when other people are happier than me, but like...
I saw this TikTok, it's super relevant, where someone was like, talking, she's like, I hate when I see those, or she's like, when I see those TikToks of a wife making her husband like a lunch for his day, I'm like, fuck him, what a man baby, piece of shit, doesn't do shit But when I see a woman make it for her wife, I'm like, that's a beautiful, that's
a
love.
loving, beautiful relationship. But you know what? To be fair, if you see a man making food for his wife, I'm like, that's pretty, like...
Yeah, that's
as long as it's just... as
long
long as it's not, like, performative and, like, oh, look, I get so many brownie points.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe
just
don't
like,
film it and put it on TikTok and be like, look how great a man I am.
If the wife is filming it as, like, and he doesn't know, you know... And
that's
it's like,
only
like,
acceptable.
Or her bragging and being like, my husband does this for me all the time because he loves me and we have a healthy relationship. Anyway, and Axe said first plaid shirts, yeah. Plaid shirts, then U-Hauls. Plaid shirts. My mother-in-law has been vocal about her dislike for me and the fact that Emma married a woman. She was initially supportive when Emma came out, but I think she was hoping Emma would suddenly turn straight and decide to marry a man, reverting back to the God-fearing housewife state. Oh, it's Patch! Patch said, I'm a great man. Acknowledge me. I acknowledge
Not
you,
this
Patchy.
week.
No, Patchy's good.
No, I'm sure you're fine. Hashtag not all men.
Hashtag not all men. Many men. But all Supreme Court justice men. Anyway, so reverting back to my God-fearing housewife state. I just hate saying that. It hurts my mouth. Patch, we're reading Am I the Asshole posts. And judging them. This week is gay themed because it's Pride. Everything is Pride except for Wrath. When Emma and I first started dating, she would make subtle digs about how I wasn't good enough for Emma, but the neighbor's kid Brandon sure was. Fucking Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh my god.
When mother-in-law realized we were getting serious, she tried to sabotage our relationship by accusing me of cheating being after her inheritance. Question mark. Being a psychopath because I have a chronic social anxiety, and other completely outrageous things. Oh my god, a queer with anxiety.
I've never heard of it.
We were pretty fed up with her at that point, and since both had jobs set up for us, Emma and I moved in together in a city about 100 miles away from mother-in-law.
Good.
Yes, get out. Since we got a lot closer, during that time, I guess mother-in-law, I have mother-in-law to thank for accelerating my relationship with my love. Mother-in-law wasn't invited to our wedding because she threatened to make a scene and bring her own groom for Emma.
What the fuck?
I highly doubt she would have, but didn't want to face chance ruining our day. So here's a situation where I might be the asshole. Emma and I went to mother-in-law's birthday party yesterday. We only visit her once a year for Emma's sake. We brought her some nice crystal wine glasses as a present. So gay. She was making snide comments about our relationship. Everything was going as expected. Mother-in-law's boyfriend. Just, God-fearing. Is she divorced?
Sounds like she's living a real life of sin.
Gays of unusual anxiety. I don't believe they exist.
Yes.
Gets eaten alive. Mother's boyfriend brought out her cake, which was chocolate cake covered in pastel rainbow flowers. I commented to Emma, perhaps a bit too
fucking
loud.
Gay.
Rainbow cake is looking kind of gay. Maybe she's finally coming around. And mother-in-law absolutely... Gamma said she killed her husband.
Yeah.
Yes. She was... mother-in-law absolutely blew up. She was screaming at us that it was disgraceful that I said she was gay. And that we even wore our wedding rings to her party when she knew that she didn't like seeing them. She was yelling at Emma that she shouldn't have brought me because I'm a disgusting reminder that Emma isn't right in the head. Emma was fuming and close to tears, so we immediately laughed after. Emma said she doesn't blame me at all and no longer wants contact with her mother. Emma's cousins, grandparents, and uncles are blowing our phones, saying that what I said was wrong and disrespectful and that we are horrible people.
No, throw them out.
Throw them all away.
Out.
Throw the
fucking waste of
this is a lot
life.
to unpack. We should just throw away the whole suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since mother-in-law has a high blood pressure issues, and I was just trying to aggravate her.
Well, she dies, that's God's will. So.
It's God's will. Don't take any medication because it's God's plan for you to be like that.
Yeah.
I was trying to I was trying to aggravate her, and I don't feel bad that I did, but I feel awful that I made mother-in-law say those horrible things to my wife, and that Emma is currently no contact with her mother.
Okay,
you
didn't
quite close
make
to. Yeah.
anyone do anything. Continue.
And then they posted a picture of the cake, and there's a whole bunch of edits, which I will do. But Axe said abandon that entire family.
Oh, yeah.
I figured I'd pause.
My question reading this is, once you know that your mother-in-law had plotted to bring a quote-unquote groom to your own wedding to her daughter, why are you still in contact with this person? That should have just been the immediate, like,
I do
absolutely
get,
not.
Like, again, I mean, you gotta think of it from, like, an abuse situation, you know, where it's, like, I feel like parents like that, you do have to read it as, like, an abuse situation where it's very hard to get away from your abuser, and they're your parents. You know?
I mean, yes,
so it's easier to say, like, you know, cut all... Well, I don't think that the wife should ever have to have anything to do with her mother-in-law. And then, like...
No, that's what my feeling is that, like, the responsibility is, like, if you want to continue having a relationship, whatever, but I would never subject my partner.
But they're 100 miles away, so I also understand being, like, I will
maybe
go
it's
with
not
you.
as bad as I think it is.
No, more
you're so, like... far away that you've put distance.
No. It's the I don't want to send my wife out alone. You know? And it's like, this isn't about me. It's about making sure you're okay, knowing that this is the path that you've chosen to walk.
Yeah.
Axe had a good point. It was God's plan for that heart to explode like a God's damn Coke bottle with a whole ass case of Mentos shoved up its ass.
Hell yeah.
Gam said, I will say not the asshole. They say one thing. Mother-in-law said how many things?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing, too, is that calling a rainbow flower cake gay and not in an insulting way is not offensive.
Yeah, it's not
It's not offensive.
They didn't even say, like... Yeah, they didn't say anything offensive. They were just like, it looks gay. Maybe you know what they accused her of? Being a decent person. They accused her of not being homophobic.
Of having, like, grown emotionally.
They literally accused her of not being homophobic. And she's like, how dare you?
How dare you besmirch
how dare you?
my good name by saying that I'm not, like, a violent homophobe.
Yeah, who would really honestly just hates my daughter.
Trying to absolutely destroy your marriage. I mean, crazy. Yeah, no, I think, one, you cut contact with the mother-in-law, absolutely, and you get the daughter in therapy for thinking that continuing a relationship was ever a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you also cut contact with any family member defending that shit, because that's indefensible. You know what the great thing about moving far away from your family and being queer is? You find a new family. You mean the make your own community.
Family? You start a D&D campaign.
The found family trope is like, you start a D&D campaign, you join a book club, or a writer's group, or
you have two straight friends.
You just hang around like the plant store until some people of your kind come in. That's what we do. You find a new family. You don't have to be tied to the people that are related to you by blood if they treat you shitty. It's like Phoebe Bridgers' gay icon. Bisexual icon.
You goddamn bisexual.
I'll find a new place to be from. That's what you do. It's a beautiful lyric.
You're an idiot.
I mean, yes, but also I'm right.
But regardless, Axe said gay is still used as a common that's actually an insult in the Midwest, not lying, saying you're...
but I mean, it's not...
And gay is still
objectively an insult in the sense of, like, you're a fucking piece of shit if you use gay as an insult or think that being accepting of queer people is somehow offensive.
Axe also said gay is still used as a common insult. Accusing someone of being accepting of the gays is also seen as a threat or just cause for a screaming match. Fuck it. Hippie is still an insult word around here. And Gamma...
It's so funny.
Yeah, right?
It's so funny, too.
These goddamn liberal hippies!
Like, it's so funny because the hippies were a pretty small community out of that generation.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all grew up and, like, bought houses in the suburbs and then vote to
not in my backyard.
To cut your Social Security.
Love it.
And also, like, they all turned conservative.
And Gamma said, I'm not gay. Emma, you are my token straight friend. Sorry about that. But I did grow up in a conservative household, so I agree with being the best thing about moving far away. Yeah, you're also an artist. You're like, you're like half a step towards it, you know.
It's queer adjacent.
Yeah, you're queer adjacent, you know.
No, I mean,
especially as a guy, like
I'm joking, but also I think there's something about someone who is like a creative person.
Oh yeah,
it's an unconventional life path compared to if you're like someone who's raised in a conservative household or somewhere out in the suburbs or a small town.
Yep.
You know, it is in a way slightly, there is a little overlap in the experience of like found communities and all of that, but yeah,
especially if you're male, like, or male presenting, you know, because like obviously the artistic community is very like, if you grew up in a conservative household and you know, you're into art at all, like
it's like a little sus, as the kids say.
Don't ever say that to me again.
Fair.
So the second edit was just about porn is best art reference for anatomy. Not gonna lie, I'm not surprised. Okay, so edit 2, edit 1 was just posting a picture of the cake. Edit 2 was oh my god, I've gotten so many replies, I'm overwhelmed. Edit 3 was I don't know how to make an update, so I'll just post another edit here. Woke up feeling overwhelmed, blah blah blah. My wife has decided to go permanently no contact with mother-in-law and low contact with much of her extended family. The only family member who has been supportive of us so far is her older sister. She's truly a lovely person, and don't know how sister-in-law and my wife are such kind people despite being raised by mother-in-law. I understand I was wrong for making the gay cake comment and that it only served to enrage mother-in-law, but my wife and I were talking yesterday, and she said she would have commented that the cake looked gay even if I hadn't, though it definitely would have gone over better had my wife said it instead of me. We're ultimately happy with the outcome and that we no longer have to attend an incredibly toxic family events with mother-in-law. As a side note, my wife told me that she never felt terribly close to her mother. So my comments about them being close before marriage was incorrect, but that the hour-long calls she would have with her mother were just very one-sided conversations where her mother would rant about her day and our relationship, never asking or caring about my wife. Oof, that hits hard. I mean, you know, it personally. Wifey and I have ordered our own gay cake from a local bakery. We should order a gay cake.
It'd be fun.
For Count's Quinceañera.
That is a thing we're actually going to do later this summer.
The local bakery that is also run by lesbians. Oh my god, it's going to be delicious then. As a treat.
See, that's what you do. You get into a hobby.
Yeah.
You find your people, your tribe. Well, that might be a little bad wording, but your people. I heard people start saying that if you say it's your tribe, it's like...
Oh, yeah, it's...
appropriative language, so...
I get that.
Find your people. Community.
Oh,
it's a good word.
Wifey and I, ordered the cake. Toast for better things. Thank you to everyone who commented. Blah, blah, blah. I was sad that this event caused my wife to go no contact with her mother. Ultimately, I see that it was largely mother-in-law's fault and that my wife's extended family are a bunch of sheep. Thank you again to everyone.
Yeah, good for those lesbians.
Yeah.
Proud of you, lesbians.
I think she said they are lesbians. I thought one was bi. Maybe not. Find your cult. That's the one. Mm-hmm. Excellent. And Axe did say, I'm the chaotic, flailing bi guy. Bloody hell, our D&D group IRL is the cast of a sitcom. Yeah. I mean, most good D&D groups. Yeah. I think I told you this, and maybe I said it last week. A dude at our D&D group came up to me, and he started talking to me, and when any man talks to me, I get nervous, because I'm like, please, are you flirting? Like, whenever you're too friendly, I'm like, yeah.
You tell the story.
I'm like, you're getting so flirty, I'm nervous. Or just talking, when a man's too friendly with me. So, he was very sweet, though. And then he ended up saying that he is queer. And I was like, oh. And he's like, it's really hard to make friends as an adult. And I was like, yeah, it is. And he's like, especially as a queer person. I'm like, oh God, yes. And he's living in Long Island. And he's like, how do you make friends as an adult, especially as a queer person? Or how do you meet more queer people? And I was like, listen, do more D&D. Like, that's how I find most of my gay friends, is like through the writing group and D&D, because like New York's queer D&D scene is like intense. And Gamma, that's me too, but mine's with women and men. Yeah, it's just like sometimes it's hard to judge. I think this is just universal, is it's hard to judge if somebody's like just being friendly or if they're being friendly, you know, wink wink. I'm bi, so if a woman, I have the classic lesbian syndrome that if a woman is talking to me, I automatically assume it is platonic until maybe they're making out with me. And even then, I might still be like, friend kissing. LO, then I fucked up the local D&D group my friend hooked me up with are all Jesus freaks. What the hell? How? I've never met a single, like, she didn't know at the time, we both felt weird now. Yeah, that's fair. Jesus freaks playing D&D is just so weird, especially because, like, it was banned for a while because it was, like, a Satanist thing. I mean, along with, like, everything else, like Harry Potter, but, I mean, time to start going to brothels in-game. Yes. But yeah, it was really funny because this guy, I keep saying kid, he was like 27, I'm 29, so like, wasn't even a big age difference, and he was just like, he felt so soft ooh because he was just so like, how do I make friends, and like, you know, and like, he was just so desperate for like queer friends, and I was just like, oh no. Again, as somebody who has more queer friends than straight friends, like, I mean, as an artist in New York City, like, I don't know, man, like, he also lived in Long Island, though, so he's, like, the only gay bar I went to, gay bar I went to was a bunch of, like, older men there, and I'm like, yeah, I can see that. They were regulars at the bar where she worked and asked her to join their game. She invited me along because she wanted someone she trusts at the table. Oh, okay. It wasn't, like, that makes sense, because if it was, oh, yeah, I knew they were all, like, hyper-Christian. That was the thing, too. I think I mentioned this at some point. I had a good friend of mine who asked, he's straight, and he asked me, he's like, can straight people play D&D? And I was like, what? Like, outside of, like, I don't know, my, like, major cities, you know, or even in the city, like, still predominantly, like, heterosexual white men, you know? I was like, yes, the queer community is co-opting TTRPGs, but, like, you know, but that's just because we all crave the found family trope. And to be a tiefling. And anything else. So it was just so funny to me, this guy asking me, like, sorry, no, you'd be at least 20% gay or queer to be on the D&D ride. I mean, I think so, but I also realize that, like, we allow, you need to be vetted if you're straight, you know? Oh my god, I think I told you about the time I was playing a character that was incredibly, like, flirty. This was at, like, an open table game, you know, in a store, and this dude came up to me, and I was making jokes. I was, like, being a character where I was like, oh, you know, she was a little bit of a misandrist of, like, or just, like, you know, you shouldn't cry, crying is for the weak. Uh-huh. And he was like, he came up to me and was like, what do you mean it's weak to cry? And I was like, dude, it's a joke. I'm playing, like, I'm playing a mean character. Like, she's an asshole, you know? And he was like, but it's not weak to cry. And I was like, no, it's not. I'm like, he was, like, very upset with me. I think there was something going on, like, with him. I was just like, please leave me alone. I am upsetty. Gamma said, I will say my gay weakness is Tom Hardy's and Chris Pine's lips. Yeah, Tom Hardy, man, like, there's a lot of memes about how kissable his lips are, and that's why a lot of his characters, you know, they cover up his mouth because he's too sexy.
Yeah. You know who always looked like the best on-screen kisser to me? Heath Ledger. You've seen A Knight's Tale.
Oh, yeah!
His kissing in that movie is, like, fucking top-notch. And 10 Things I Hate About You, He's so sexy in it. I don't think you've seen that one. It's actually a
I haven't.
retelling of a Shakespeare, The Taming of the Shrew, but it's actually very fun and cute. And yeah, he was so dreamy kisser. And who always looked like the worst on-screen kisser to me was Zach Braff. He had fucking fish. He has fucking fish lips.
Oh yes, Heath.
He always looks
hard.
so awkward kissing.
Growing up, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of my weaknesses. Also, fuck yeah, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is cute. He's also cute because he knows that, yes, I have seen 50-50. Sorry.
You're allowed
I know
to.
they were asking someone
You're
else,
allowed
but
to answer.
The scene in the car in 50-50 where he plays a character who's diagnosed with cancer and he's really young. Obviously, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And he just, like, has a breakdown scene in his car, and it's so sad.
His performance is 10 Things I Hate About You is absolutely... Do you guys want me to just leave and you guys can just talk about...
I'll make you watch 10 Things I Hate About You one day.
All right, I have... I guess we have probably want to do, like, one more.
It's one of those, like, classics of the 90s that you're
Focus,
missing
babe.
out on.
Do you want me to do, like, one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
So I have 3 options. A woman doesn't want to share a hotel room with a gay man at a work event. Am I the asshole for coming out at my sister's wedding? And am I the asshole for outing my ex as gay to get his mother off my back?
I kind of like the hotel one. But you can choose if you
That
have
one feels
strong feelings.
That one I agree is pretty juicy. It's one of the best. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Anna Kendrick.
50-50, the movie.
Oh, so
It's
good. I do
really,
like
really
Anna
good.
Kendrick. She's hot as fuck.
Also, who plays the mom in that movie? Because I also remember that one of the scenes towards the end is he goes in to get, I think he gets like brain surgery, and he's being wheeled into the operating room, and his mom's holding his hand, and it's very like raw. I don't know. It was really good. It was one of those movies I've never rewatched it after I watched it, but a couple scenes stuck out to me as being really good. Anyway.
Am I the asshole for kicking up a fuss with my boss over sharing a room with a gay man?
Probably. But I'll hear it out.
She's one of my biggest celebrity crushes. Anna Kendrick is so beautiful.
She's cute. I feel like she got a little annoying to me on Twitter. I used to follow her on Twitter, and I felt like she was trying too hard to be a little bit like of a cool girl. Like,
But she is.
I eat burgers and I hang out with boys, and also I'm a size 2, and I'm quirky, and I'm not like other girls. But
Maybe that's your internalized misogyny.
a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit of her
Maybe it's
internalized
both.
misogyny.
Maybe it's both.
Angelica Houston, thank you. She played Joseph Gordon-Levitt's mom.
Hello, so this is a throwaway. 26 female. I hate when they do that. They just put A. Her name is
Amber. That sounds
I know
shitty
it.
name for...
I know it. Absolute bitch named. Her name is Angelica. She's just a weirdo, and I love it. Okay. I know an Amber.
Okay,
That's
start
fine.
from the beginning.
26 female, Amber, have got a job through campus placement, lucky, at a medium-sized company in my country. We are going on a business trip to secure a deal selling the industrial product my company distributes. We were staying at a fairly upmarket hotel. The arrangement would be my boss, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Will have his own room. My 2 other colleagues, Caleb and Daniel. She just did CD, and I hate that about her.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U, and your mom.
It's such a good song. Both late 20s, early 30s males will be sharing a room. This is quite standard in my country. I was assigned a room, same type as boss and colleagues, that I was to share with my other colleague, Eli. So, we know an Eli, though.
Yeah, let's go with
Edgar.
Ezra.
Ezra Miller?
No, God, no.
Edgar.
That's fine.
Who is openly gay. I do not have a problem with him being gay, but I told my boss to book us separate rooms because I do not want to share a room with a man no matter his sexuality, and asked for him to room with the other men instead, i.e. they could book a room suite with 3 beds instead of the current 2. He said it was unreasonable to expect the exchequer to pay extra just because I wanted comfort. I told him it's not for comfort, but for the above reasons. He seemed to understand and tried to explain his perspective, and that since Edgar was gay, there would be no, quoted, undesirable consequences.
Okay. That's a not great phrasing of...
Yeah, we're just really worried that, like, if you put a straight man in a room with another woman, he's automatically going to assault her.
Yeah.
And
not great.
If the number was straight, I would have got a private room. I told him that I don't want to for my own feelings and boundaries. There's a lot of layers here. Yeah. Brandon then shouted and called me homophobic. And that there would be no problem. And I yelled at him, saying he had no respect for his female coworkers' wishes. Another colleague, D. Jesus, there's so many names.
Dick.
Wasn't there already a D? Wasn't that Daniel?
Oh, Daniel. Yeah, sorry. I can't keep your fictional name straight.
But it was Daniel.
It was Daniel.
They said another colleague as if D wasn't a part of it. Anyway, Daniel stepped out of his office and then broke up our argument, but upon hearing the situation, lightly berated me, as he thought there was no problem since he was gay, and that...
Wait, I thought Edgar was gay.
He is. Yeah, Edgar is
but
gay.
When he says...
But Brandon decided to make this part of his
I know,
problem.
but Daniel's just a random other coworker.
Yeah.
He's not the gay guy.
No, he's not the gay guy.
Okay.
Edgar's the gay guy. Seems to be gay, that, he wouldn't have a problem rooming with a problem since he's gay, and that Daniel wouldn't have had a problem rooming with a lesbian roommate. Both then called, what was C?
Caleb,
and asked his opinion, and Caleb said it was okay to share a room with a gay man, but if I wanted in my own room, I should be allowed to have it. And I suggested I pay the difference out of my paycheck. I agreed with this, saying I disagreed with this, saying I shouldn't pay for a company business trip. True. Boss then told everyone to go back to work and told me that I shouldn't be immature and told me that even other people think it's okay and I was being unreasonable. He said that Caleb's idea was the best solution and we all went back to work. Never mentioned again till today, almost 2 days later. My boss is in general very reasonable and kind, and I've never had issues with the boss either. Have got easy three-day paid leaves for my grandma's death. That's not like something to laud.
How generous.
That's basic human decency. I'm not exactly experienced in the job market in general in my particular field, so with less than 1 year, am I the asshole?
How long is the business trip for, did she say?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm kind of two minds about this. Do you want to react first, or do you want me? It's my take.
But yeah, said, I'm getting that they're all assholes. I kind of, yeah. And Axe said if they wants a fucking upgrade, then yeah, she needs to pay. Well, she doesn't want an upgrade. She just doesn't want a room with a man. I kind of feel like, should this be a big deal? No. But I also feel like it's perfectly understandable for a woman just not to want a room with a man. And, like, his sexuality isn't the problem here. You know? Like, I mean, maybe she would be fine with rooming with a lesbian roommate. It's really not about the sexuality. It's 100% about, like... And I don't know what country this is, so it might be just, you know, I mean, I hate using the word conservative because I hate conservatives. But, like, it's perfectly...
The cultural norms might be different.
Yeah, but also, like, if there's nothing... I don't see any issue with, like, her saying, hey, I'm not comfortable rooming with a man, and I don't want to room with a man regardless.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I think respecting women's boundary is important. I will say, as someone who's... I've traveled a lot with my gay male friend, and we share hotel rooms all the time, and I never even for a second thought about it being uncomfortable, just because it's like, we're friends, you know, you just like change in a bathroom.
I mean, these aren't your friends, though.
Yeah, it's a little different when it's coworkers. I think really they should have just been like, yeah, we'll just get you your own room. You know, she's in a way being punished for being a woman and just being uncomfortable with the situation.
Because there's 3 men and 1 woman, you know? So it's like, oh, cool, you just have an issue also, obviously, with, like, maybe not enough women. Or maybe they take another woman to the convention, you know? I don't know, like...
Yeah, it seems like probably the right thing in the situation is... I was gonna think she was the asshole because I thought she was gonna, like, be kind of homophobic about it. I don't really think she is. Yeah. It's like she's not comfortable. Just let her have her own room, regardless of his sexuality. Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but that's me. That's not everyone. You know, who knows what her reasoning is, if it's just her personal comfort level, if she has, like, a religious reason, anything like that. I think they should accommodate her. It sounds like the company's just being cheap. I mean, it's really sad, the fact that she, like, points out the 3 days of bereavement leave as, like...
Yeah.
How generous of this company to give me 3 days off to bury my grandparent. Like...
Gamma said if someone says they aren't comfortable, there really shouldn't be a problem accommodating. It's literally not hard. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, you never know what somebody... I mean, even if it's not, like, a conservative thing, it might even just be, like... I mean, obviously this may be extrapolating, but, like, from a company standpoint, you don't know if that woman has been, like... you know, assaulted at
Trauma in her past.
She doesn't trust men. Like, you know, at a certain point in my life, I probably would have been like, I'm not sharing a room with a strange... I mean, even now, I'd be like, I don't really want to share a room with a strange man. Like, most of my coworkers, I'd probably be like... I mean, I'm different now. You know, I'm a little more, like, chill, and I'd be fine with it, probably. I mean, I'd still maybe... Yeah, I'd probably be fine with it. But yeah, it's a coworker you don't even know. I also find it a little weird to share a room if with a... female coworker if I didn't know them that well, so.
Yeah. I'd say, like, the reason I asked about the length of the trip, too, because I was like, well, if it's, like, a one-night thing, then, like...
Yeah, you suck it up.
Yeah. But, I mean,
but it's
even then, maybe
it's
doesn't
to do
really
a
matter.
deal, though, so it might be multiple days.
Yeah. My feeling, ultimately, she's not the asshole. Her request is not unreasonable. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're trying to pressure her into it sucks. I really hope that Edgar wouldn't feel like he's being targeted in some way, but I don't know. If I was, like, going to share a room with, like, I was assigned a room with a male coworker, and he was like, I'm not comfortable with this, I'd be like, yeah, I understand that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't judge it just because, like, I don't sleep with men.
Said, I definitely agree with Gamma. I'm losing track of where E's sexuality came into play here. From the title of the article, it seemed like she had a problem with the coworker being gay. No, just him being a man. But everyone else is like, well, you're gay, so you might as well be a woman, kind of feels.
Yeah.
And then from the body of the text, she didn't bring it up very much. I'm a bit confused about that. Yeah, it's literally just like, Edgar is gay, and they want her to room with him because he's gay and she's a woman. So it's like, you're both...
Title's a little clickbaity.
It is very clickbaity. She did add... Edgar doesn't mind either way. He wants to stay out of the drama.
Don't you love when they, like, title the posts in a way where they're like, am I the asshole because I threw a cup of water in my father-in-law's face? And then it's like, he was on fire and I threw water to put it out. Like, it's, like, so misleading.
It was actually battery acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so... This was multiple days ago, but it was very...
no updates or anything?
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, but, like, saying, you know, go to HR. Yeah, and she hasn't gone to HR, and there's been no updates. It's been 34 days, so we're not going to get one.
Yeah, I think, well... You know, they always say don't go to HR. HR is there to protect the company, not you. But, I mean, in this scenario, I think that's a good route.
Yeah, and also, like, when it comes to, I mean, especially at this kind of low, you know, bar, I feel like there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, shelling out a couple more dollars. Or even just saying, okay, you don't want to do that, we're going to get you a lower hotel room, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
Or, like, honestly...
honestly, it's like, you're going to get a one-bed... hotel room is going to be cheaper anyway, because I assume you're not making them share a bed.
No.
What a fanfic trope that is.
Or they even said, like, they would just upgrade them to, like, a 3-bed, you know, for the guys. And then the boss is getting his own room, which I'm like...
Well, duh. I
mean, he is. Yeah, of course he is.
What a jagoff.
I went to that bias against her because the article title. Yeah. That's also why I was like, it was just an interesting one, because it was like, fuck you, I can't believe you're homophobe. Oh.
Never mind.
Oh, you just don't like men. Understandable.
Absolutely understandable.
I mean, yeah, I totally get it. Like, I don't know where she comes from either of her, I mean, mentally and
Yeah.
also, like, I mean, obviously it's not, like, she said this is normal for her country, so I always just assume, like,
Yeah.
you know, not America. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And it might be for religious reasons, too, because I immediately went into, like, if she's, like, a Muslim woman or something, you know, and, like, I mean, I guess she would have brought that up, but, like, even if she's a Christian, like...
Or even if she's non-religious, it just has
just
her own reasons. She, you know, you don't have to really have a big reason
to not want to share a room with a dude.
Yeah. I think, like, a lot of the stories, the true villain of the story is capitalism.
Yeah, they could easily just shell out and be like, oh, yeah, no. The easiest thing would have been
just, like,
to just
spend
be
the extra, like, $80 for, you know, a different room or something.
80. I just booked a hotel room for my...
Well, I was seeing the difference for, like...
Oh, yeah.
One night, like... I was trying to do the math. What could a banana cost, Michael? $10?
I just booked a hotel room for $720 a night.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
Well, that's for very bougie people, so...
They needed to go to this specific hotel. Like, it was specifically...
They needed to.
And then, like, I literally had to, like, it was over the limit that they're allowed, but he had to go to this hotel, because that's where, like, everyone else was going, like, you know, people above him, and the client was going to be at. And it was just so funny, because then, like, the American Express, like, concierge service pops up. They're like, you're over budget. And I'm like, I know, I'm still going through with it. And they're like, here are the other places you can go for. And it was like Best Western. And I'm like, and they're like, we're going to send your company all the options you could have done, just so they know, like, you could have saved $800. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, $750 isn't even that crazy. He's literally flying business class to San Diego, and it's like $2,000.
Yeah. I've thought before, I'm like, oh, I should treat myself one day and get, like, a first-class flight. And then I look at the prices,
Never mind.
and I'm like, nope, guess I'll just die.
Yeah. Gamma said, yeah, it's literally a no means no scenario, no explanation. Yeah, it really is. And it's like, there's the only person who's not an ass, well, she's not an asshole. I think that, and it's just bizarre that, like, the white knighting of the other guys of, like, you're homophobic for not considering this gay man equal to a woman. And that's kind of the other thing that's really weird that they're so aggressive about is, like, and somebody in the comments actually said that too. They're like, yeah, I'm a gay man. I hate it when people just assume I'm okay, like, rooming with a woman. Just because there's no sexual attraction doesn't mean, like, it's comfortable.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, she says, no, I'm not comfortable with that. You just say, understood, we'll make it work. We'll figure out a different way, you know. Mm-hmm. They're, you know, you're already traveling for work and stuff. I mean,
I do wonder, I wonder if the other guys weren't pushing it more. Because
they'd be mad if she had her own room and they didn't.
No, I wonder if they're pushing
female privilege.
Yes. Well, she says she's the only woman in her, like, team, so she should deserve it. But also, I wonder if the other guys weren't pushing it more because they are homophobic and didn't want a room with.
Oh,
that's the other thing I don't get. Like,
that
why
would be surprising? I guess,
you know, because they're like, yeah, why can't? I don't know. It just, I mean, that would kind of track if they're, like, pushing it so hard because they didn't want a room with the gay guy, but also didn't want it to be, you know, on them. Like, well, he's sexually attracted to us, so obviously
we're not comfortable.
Obviously, he's gonna do things because men are animals and can't control their urges. It's just such a weird scenario of, like...
Yeah. No,
What if they said the same thing and the manager said okay to them? I mean, it sounds like the boss was being a little less of a dick about the whole thing. I think he sounded a little more confused, and it was just the two other guys of Brandon and Caleb who were like, why can't you do this for the team? And maybe it was homophobia, maybe it was just them being like, maybe it was misogyny, you know, where they were like...
It could be, yeah, it's funny because it could either be a few options. One, misogyny, they don't like her, so they want to make her life difficult.
Yeah.
Two,
or just the idea of, like, a woman shouldn't get her own room just because she's a woman.
Something
you
like
don't
that.
get privilege because you're a woman.
Like, women have it so easy. Ugh.
They get their own room.
Other option is homophobia. They don't want to room with him, so they want to, like, you know, have her room with him so they don't have to worry about it. Option 3, they are being hashtag woke and accusing her of homophobia when that's really not the issue.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they're a little misplaced with their embracing of gay rights.
I feel like it really, like, boils down to where they're like, yeah, Edgar doesn't care. It's like, I love when it's like somebody white knights for somebody and then you come up with like...
Well, when he's like, I don't want to be part of the drama, like, are you sure you're gay?
Well, no.
But also...
Doesn't want to be part of it, wants to watch.
We'll watch.
Because I don't like being in drama.
Just like to watch other people's drama.
This is why I'm on Am I the Asshole all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, when I'm the person at every job I'm at that I'm so fucking nosy. I am constantly the one going like, did you hear about Frank? Mm-hmm. No, what happened with Frank? I heard him arguing with his wife.
Oh, God. I do love drama. Just, I don't like being part of it either, so.
Yeah. I think that's just natural human.
Well, and yeah, I mean, originally what I was going to say, I understand, because it's like, when you're in a position where you're like a minority in some way, in a group of people who aren't, and then you don't
They're all
want
arguing
it to be
over
an issue and act, you know, be quote unquote the problem.
And maybe and maybe he doesn't care, and that's also tough too, because you're pitting like a gay guy versus a woman, you know, who is in this situation the minority. They both are, but like, you know, having to deal with that. It's like, maybe the solution is just to give everyone their own room.
Yeah. Or whatever.
But then the boss wouldn't get privileges of being the only one.
Make the boss sleep outside.
Yeah, right? Make the boss sleep with the gay guy.
In the car. No, don't punish the gay guy with that shit.
That's true.
He can sleep in the car. In the rental. He can go to the Best Western.
The Best Western. That's $80 a night. I am booking an $800 a night hotel, and this system is like, have you considered, you know, have you considered Motel 8? You know, and it's
oh my God, when I
it's like $60 a night, and I'm like,
dude, when I was homeless, every so often we would scrape together enough money to book a night or two at like the Super 8. Which was like, so skeezy, but fuck, it was a bed, it was a shower, it was air conditioning.
Did they have free toiletries?
No, it's Super 8. No.
Damn, that sucks.
I remember one day, well, I don't know, I should say this, but I remember one day I was 18, okay, and I was like standing outside by our car, and this guy had the door open, and like, it was one of those where the hotel rooms are all, like, the doors are all outside facing, like, the parking lot. And we were, like, on the first level. And he had the door open. And he was just looking at me and, like, jacking off. It was great. Super fun. Super 8 times. But, yeah. And then we ended up getting kicked out because we would sneak our dog in. And then, no one cared for a while except then I think one of the cleaning people burst in, saw the dog, and must have complained to the office because they were like, you can't stay here anymore.
Dog's issue. Guy jacking off to a teenager.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No one cares. But Super 8 is dog phobic. Pass it around.
Sponsor us, Super 8.
No, fuck you, Super 8.
Dog phobic.
Yeah.
You know who I do want to sponsor? We're not going to get a sponsor. I would totally take a Fresh Direct sponsor, or like any of the meal kit sponsors. But also I may or may not have
give me that Blue Apron money.
Oh my God, Blue Apron.
Give me that HelloFresh.
I would whore myself for
I would do so much.
I will show feet pics.
It's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Not much, but I'd do a hell of a lot for a Blue Apron.
God, I'll show feet for Blue Apron. Is that what you want, Blue Apron? Is that what you want?
We can talk.
Do you want feet pics?
Call me Blue Apron. We'll work it out.
Fresh Direct. Hello Fresh. We'll show feet for that.
Start an OnlyFans, but only for Blue Apron.
Only for Blue Apron. You want to subscribe to me? You gotta subscribe to Blue Apron sending me meal kits.
We can't be giving them this free ad space.
We're begging for it.
They need to pay us in meal kits.
Also, here's free advertising. Is my favorite website is Dogecore.
What the hell is that?
It's clothing store. And I love it because it is all it's like a shirt that says "I am very gay and small, and please be nice to me."
Oh, I think I know the story you're
I've
talking
shown
about.
you it before. And I bought a shirt today that says like oh, there's one that says, "Yeah, I'm into D&D, disassociation and dehydration."
Hell yeah.
And there's one that's just a little dog and it says, "I am stupid." And it's just very like,
It's such your aesthetic.
yeah, it's very like Gen Z nihilism, like when memes have transcended understanding of language and like being funny.
Yeah.
And so I bought 2 shirts from there and it's $50 and I should have regrets.
Hell yeah.
Sorry. I wanted to link it in the chat. Here you go. There's Dogecore. Sponsor us.
All right, so I think we should end it, but I do think I was just thinking, and it's funny because I don't have anything planned for this, but I think we should end it with a segment of what is the best or worst thing you've seen on the internet this week.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I do have one I can share. Yes. So our ending segment before we sign off, we will do the corner of what is the best or worst thing you've seen on the internet this week. Maybe we'll narrow it down in the future, but I feel like sometimes there are weeks where you don't see anything good and everything is horrible. But then there are some weeks where you see a lot of good shit.
Can I do a meme?
I'm going to do a meme. So, I saw 3 days ago in my saved Twitter bookmarks, likes, there is a meme that says, okay, so there is this meme that has been going around I've seen on TikTok where it says, like, therapy is not enough. I need blah, blah, blah. Or, like, touching grass is not enough. I need to blah, blah, blah. Which is pretty funny. And this one I saved is I will describe for audio listeners. It's a picture of a grass field, and over it says, "Touching grass is not enough. I need horrible things to happen to powerful people." And I felt that in my bones. I felt that in every inch of my soul.
Mine is it's a young kid and he's like at school and he's looking sad and says, "When it's career day at your school, but your dad's a cop and refuses to enter the building."
God. That took like a half a second lag, but holy shit.
Our queer friend posted.
It's dark this week.
It's so good.
We're hanging out by a thread, guys. Like,
yeah. Yeah, so that was my favorite. I don't think there's anything, I mean, everything bad is happening. Also, I keep getting served ads, that are all Alpha Omega-verse ads that are like, "You're infertile. I made a fake fertility test for Christian and Alpha." And then it just has the worst art I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but that's because that's the kind of shit you read online, so it's a targeted ad.
No. I keep clicking on them because they're funny. And I want my Facebook algorithm to be terrible. And so I just screen capped a whole bunch of terrible ads because I was like, these are good and today is rough. And also I was only served nothing but terrible, like, Wattpad, like, fiction stories, for, like, it was on the Roe v. Wade day was nothing but terrible romance ads, and I was like, they knew I needed this.
The distraction.
TikTok is all Roe v. Wade, and then Facebook ads are all, like, you know. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna be signing off. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hit 7 viewers.
Woo! That might be a record-ish. Somewhere up there.
I think 9 was our record. We're doing great.
We're doing great. We're
it's
really...
Fine. Me asking for sponsorship with all 7 viewers.
Well, there's a silent audience on you. Well, there's a secondary audience on YouTube.
My ex.
And I think this episode is probably the first one that I think we can really edit for an actual, like, podcast. Me. Please. I listened last week, so it was not going to make a good podcast, so I did not do anything with it. But,
can I just upload it to YouTube then?
Yeah. Well,
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Night, Gamma. Thank you. Thanks for you're welcome. I hope we make good podcast. Maybe
we're doing our best in
your
these
best
trying
way.
times.
So thank you for watching. We're gonna be we're
next week will not be happening because it's 4th of July weekend.
Oh yeah,
but we'll be back.
Maybe I'll do it by myself.
So I'll
probably still do a stream though.
This has been Terminally Online. I'm Hannah.
I'm also Hannah. I'm Tori.
And we will never jeopardize the beans.
Night.